It's a good thing.
Good entertainment for the public.
Well, this is my first carnival ever, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Everybody loves it.
Takes a lot of people.
Oh, well, it gives the people a outing. Look at running, it brings back in. Any athletic competition is good for any state, I think.
Well, it's a good thing for the sportsmen, like as far as the prize money and that's concerned. It brings a lot of tourists and brings a lot of interest into the country.
It gives the people a chance to get together, and it's a day trip, and, well, it's terrific.
Well, this is a great carnival as far as the runners are concerned.
I was of the opinion that in Tasmania, if we were going to attract interest to the general activities of the community, that it was important that there be some attractions in the sporting field. And I made a suggestion to the controlling bodies of cycling, running and shopping that we should have a major event of this nature each year, and that it ought to be conducted at a venue decided upon by the respective controlling body. It was eventually decided that the running and cycling thousands should be conducted on the Devonport Oval by the Devonport Athletic Club, and now they have been brought together in one big day of sport. This is an excellent program.
Is this one of the most important running events in Australia?
This would be very close to it, yes. I think, obviously, Store with Easter would obviously be the carnival in Australia. Perhaps the Bendigo 1000 also, Wangaratta, and this one.
Do you think there's a greater interest in running, foot running in Tasmania at this time?
There is this year, for sure, more than there has been for the last 4 or 5, I'd say.
I talked to Bob Huxtable about his chances in the night running events. Bob, you just won your heat. Congratulations. And now you're in running for tonight.
Yes, I've got a fairly rough show for tonight.
There are only 6 left in the field. You're one of them.
It's one of the 6.
How do you feel about it?
Well, I've got a rough show, I reckon.
And do you think the competition tonight with the other runners is going to be fairly keen?
It'll be fairly stiff. There's some good runners there.
Do you find running at night more difficult than in the day?
I prefer to run by night. It's slower, admittedly, but some runners can run better in hot weather in the water in the daylight. Some run better at night.
And you're one of those who can run better in the cool?
I think I can run a bit better when it's cool because I don't like the hot weather very much.
Moving up nicely now. Oh, Inglewood's going Dunson there too. Dale and Dunson for it. Dale in the yellow Dunson.
Keith Oliver is asked what is the difference between an ordinary bicycle and a racing cycle?
Well, basically everything on them is different. They're designed for speed. Everything's very light. It's mainly lightness, and the wheels in particular is the big difference, where they're very, very light, and the tyre and tube is combined in one very light tubular, it's called.
So an ordinary bicycle wouldn't be used for racing, Keith?
No, there is what you call semi-racing bikes that could be converted for young riders just by simply putting in faster wheels.
What's the average cost of one of these bikes?
Well, for a top bike, about $200 for the works, for a really good bike with the best equipment.
Do you think you have a chance tonight?
I could win it, but I feel the riders on around the 100-yard mark, I feel the winner will come from there, but you never know. Anything can happen in a bike race. They're not one till you cross the line.
Rob, where are you from?
I'm from Greenacre, New South Wales.
Are there many New South Walians here today?
It's 6 or 7 of us. A couple from Newcastle, 3 from Sydney, and a couple from Cootamundra.
Well, you're certainly fairly well represented then.
Well, it's one of the biggest representations we've had from New South Wales for a long time in Devonport.
Have you had a trial run round the track as yet?
Yes, had one earlier this morning. The track was pretty fast, but I think the sun's going to slow it down in the afternoon.
What about tonight?
Well, if it's a cool night, if the track comes up again, it should be a fast track.
How do you feel about the handicap?
Well, it's pretty hard, actually. I'm on a back mark. There's about 6 of us on back mark, Victorians, a couple of Tasmanians, and myself. And I think we've got too big a gap to the next bunch, and I think we're going to have our work cut out to pick them up.
So it could be a pretty hard race for you?
Well, I believe so, because these chaps on 100 yards out have all got stepping stones to the limit rider, and last Christmas they rode 144 for the mile, and that means we've got to ride about 132 for the mile from the back mark, and this is pretty hard to do.
It may look easy, but there are times when cycling is a dangerous sport. In the 5th heat of the Tasmanian 1000 wheel race, John Griggs of Devonport is involved in a spectacular fall. Shortly afterwards, he was taken to Mersey General Hospital with concussion. Joe Ciavola. Surely this is one of the most important cycling events in Australia today.
Yes, that's true. It's the biggest prize money in Australia for one-day cycling carnival.
How many people or how many cyclists would have come here today?
Oh, between 110 to 120, I should imagine.
And from what states would they be?
Oh, all over. Every state.
And you're from where?
Melbourne.
And how do you feel about the handicap tonight?
It's a tricky question, the handicap. I suppose the backmarkers can't complain that much. They've had their fair share. It's pretty hard to make up 190 yards in a mile. It can be done, but if they come up with a record ride, then virtually we've wasted their trip. So we hope that the front markers don't go as fast as they can go.
How do you feel yourself? Are you confident?
Well, I'm not confident, but hoping for the best. You can never be too confident in bikes. It's a sport where, you know, there's a lot of bad luck comes into it, and a lot of tactics come into it as well. So it's not like running where you're just time trialing virtually. It's more tactics than anything else, really.
Well, Barry, you have a pretty good chance today.
Yes, John, I think so. I had a fall last weekend at Wangaratta, and I have hurt myself a bit, but I think I've still got a pretty good chance.
How do you feel about the track here today?
Very good track, and it's not quite as fast today as it will be tonight. This is probably one of the fastest tracks in Australia here. They ride tremendous times and be very, very fast tonight.
This is why? Because cooler conditions?
Cooler conditions, the track lightens off. All the riders feel better in themselves, so they can make a better effort.
How long have you been cycling, Barry?
19 years.
Have you?
Yeah.
Do you think that female competition cycling would be popular?
There was a record vote the other day by a girl, so let's see if Tasmania can do the same.
Oh, let's say I wouldn't like to be one myself, so I don't know about anybody else.
Yes, I love to race.
No, I've seen him before years ago, and terrible.
Oh, you're right, I suppose.
Oh, feminine.
After a grueling afternoon of strong competition, both in cycling and running, more and more onlookers arrive to make it a record gate. The stands are packed for the evening's events. The Tasmanian Thousand gift has attracted 92 runners, certainly more than any previous year in this, the world's richest cycling athletic carnival. Now, after the elimination heats, the final is about to start. Under the lights of the Devonport Arena, it takes only 12 seconds for Les Bradley to win the 1969 Tasmanian Thousand gift. 12 seconds that many of the crowd have waited for all day. Close behind him at the finish is John Reevers, the confident Victorian who had become odds-on favourite, and less than a yard separates the first 5 runners at the tape.
Many, many congratulations on winning the Tasmanian Thousand for 1969. It's been a wonderful year for you, and I hope that your running career doesn't end with this event. But even if it does, that there'll be a great encouragement given to many other young people who can come onto this track and grace it as you've done tonight. Many congratulations, Les, on a splendid win.
Congratulations, Les. How do you feel at this moment in time?
I feel terrific, but I still cannot believe it.
This is a first win for you, is it? A big win in this type of athletic carnival?
Yes, it's a big one. I've won St Helens and Franklin,
Have you?
coming up to this one, and yeah, I was scared really. I didn't think I could do it, but you sort of can't underestimate yourself.
You're from where?
Medina.
So the people of Medina will be very proud
Oh,
of
they'll
you
be
today.
proud, yeah, very proud.
Congratulations, you must go on your run.
Thanks very much, thank you.
And so starts the toughest of all bike races. Ridden over 1 mile, it is to be won in exactly 1 minute 47.2 seconds by self-trained 18-year-old Don Campbell, a Tasmanian lad who has been a professional rider only for 2 months. Here is the race as it happens. Campbell, riding with all the aplomb of a veteran, starts in the 100-yard line. Campbell had his first bike win in a schoolboys event in Deloraine, and he went on to take the Australian schoolboys bike title in Adelaide in 1966. Rod Crow, a rider from Cootamundra, was to say later, Campbell had the race won when he passed me coming into the straight. Campbell wins by 3/4 of a length from Rod Crow, followed by Barry Woodell, a wheel away third, whilst leading the others was Bill Brooks fourth, and Joe Ciavola brings up the 5th place.
I would like to think that this race has laid the foundation for other successes by you, but perhaps none will be remembered so much as the night in 1969 on the Devonport Oval when you won the Tasmanian Thousand. Many, many congratulations on an excellent effort. And now it's my pleasure to ask you to accept the sash, the trophy that's been donated for this event by Anson A&A, and a cheque for $1,500. Don, how does that feel? Many, many congratulations on winning the Tasmanian Thousand for 1969.
Congratulations, Don Campbell. How do you feel after winning this very big bicycle event?
Very pleased.
This is the first race that you've won, or have you won others?
Oh, I've won others, and amateurs. This is the first biggest race I've won in.
How long have you been professional?
Oh, about 2 months.
So this is your first professional win.
Yeah.
How much money have you gained from this prize?
Oh, $1,500.
That's a lot of money. How old are you, Don?
18.
So $1,500 and you're 18 years. That's a very big night for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tell me, when you were finishing the race, were you worried at all? Did anyone worry you particularly?
I wasn't worried after the turning in the straight.
Once you got there, you felt you'd won.
Yeah.
And what did you think about when you came into the straight?
Just about winning, that's all.
You were set on winning. Did you feel confident before you started?
I was fairly confident at the start, and as the race went on, I got more confident.
And so, another Tasmanian Thousand. The lights fade, the crowds depart, and a weary camera crew pack up their equipment. For most of us, it's all over till next year.